Hey everybody, ifoundjim.com. I'm a rustic furniture maker. I'm also a pilot. I'm jimthepilot.com. And I'm going to show you how to make, it's a pretty simple technique on how to make dovetail joints. And I've used this a lot in my career. As you can see, this is a dovetail joint. This is how you put drawers together and make them look like they're hand cut, because they are actually hand cut. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Here's my pieces right here. And I'm just going to show you how to do this. It's really quite a simple process. I will take my board, and it's a 5-inch board, and I want a thirds. I want to get this into thirds, so that's the way I do it. I take my tape measure, and I come across on an angle, and I'll go over to 6, because that's a third, and then I mark at 2, and I mark at 4, and then I put my mark up, and I use a ballpoint pen because I like ballpoint pens. And you want to make sure that your boards are square. And then, see, now you should have a third. It's going to be, well, yeah, we're doing perfect. Beautiful. These are third equal sections here. And then I want to go 3/4 of an inch, because that's what my board thickness is. Now I'm going to put a mark at 3/4. And I'm going to mark the other side also, just because it sometimes helps when I start flipping the boards around and cutting on both sides. Okay, so now that's what you got. Now, I've already got a piece made. Doggone, I hope I didn't lose it. This is a 10-degree angle right here. This guy, it's a 10-degree angle. I made it. And it's just a piece of plywood with a little backstop, and it's 10 degrees. And what I do is I put that right here. And I'm going to put it equal between these third bays, which I've made. And I eyeball it. And I put my mark, and then I'll come down the center of this guy, and it's an eyeball operation at this point. And I mark it, okay, come down the center of this guy, eyeball it, and then I mark it, okay. Now the pieces that I'm cutting out are going to be the center right here. I'm cutting that out, I'm cutting this out, I'm cutting this out, and I'm cutting this out. So let's take it over to the bandsaw, and we'll do that real quick here. So this is my bandsaw, and that's what we're going to do. I've got this raised up a little so you can see the cuts better. And you want to be exact as you can. Exact and true. And watch your fingers, these are sharp. Now, since I've got this mark, I'll go ahead and cut this guy right on the line. And I've got this mark on the other side, that's why I marked the other side. So. Okay, so now I've got to cut this here. I'm going to cut this guy. And then we can kind of come in here, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll just get back and just go in here and cut this out. Can you see that okay? I'm just going to start cutting around a little bit like this. I can go back and forth just a little bit with that blade. It almost acts like a planer at that point. And I'm just going to knock all these pieces out here, cut them out of the way. There's various ways to do this operation. You don't have to do it my way. But this is sometimes what I do. This is because I'm used to it. forth a little bit like that. And this is the piece we've got now, see? That's what I've got. Okay, the next step is basically we're going to come back over to the table. Okay? And then I'm going to put my 3/4 inch mark on this guy, because this is a 3/4 inch board, and we're going to be cutting out 3/4 inch on this also. So if you put that mark on there, come over here and put your 3/4 inch mark right there. Can you see that okay? We got a 3/4 inch mark right here. Okay, we're done with this piece. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll take this board and I'm just going to tip it up like this here, and I'm going to line it up just like this, just like that. Okay, and then I basically scribe right here. Well, you can't move the board either. You got to be as accurate as you possibly can with this section, because these are your final marks here. Let's get her nice and steady. Right about there. Then you mark. You can see I'm not doing a great job of it here. And sometimes a sharp pencil is better on this guy here. Of course, I got my camera dead smack in the way too, so it's kind of screwing me up a little bit. Okay, so basically that's what you got there. And then what you got to do is you have to now transfer these marks. And these get transferred up like this. See what I'm doing? And then you have to put this guy over so that your square sits nice and flat against the end grain of this drawer, like so. And right now, see, I'm going to cut this piece out, this piece out, and this piece out. I know that, because that's going to have to be the piece that's accepting the other part of the dovetail. Okay, so that's coming out. That's coming out. That's coming out right there. Okay, so that's coming out. So now, what I can do is I can go back over to the bandsaw and I can cut this, this, and this out. Okay, let's do that. And you have to make sure that you're going to be cutting. You want to start on this side, because we're going to have to cut. You have to start on the small side right here. Okay, you can't cut this other side, or else you're going to wipe out your lines there. So you got to do it on the small side. They're actually a fairly fast joint to do. And it's sometimes easier when you're not trying to film yourself doing it. That's the other logistical part that's tough right now. That's okay. Okay, see? So that's what I've got. See? Now I'm going to just get rid of those inside pieces. And I should have a finer blade on this bandsaw. I should have a real thin rolling blade. This is too thick of a shoulder on the blade for this kind of work, but it is actually going to work. And never put your fingers in there, get rid of them that way. So now you just come back over and follow the line. And if your board's too long, because your drawer is longer, you have to cut the other way. But I can get it inside of here right now. I can get it inside of the throat of the bandsaw, so I don't have to do that at this point. Okay. So that's what you have left, see? Okay. Now we're going to take it back over to this guy here. And generally, I will always block the wood, you know, with, I'll block this with another piece of wood in here so I don't scar it all. But this is what you have. Okay, now I got to get a couple more saws. And actually I like to cut it this way. Okay, now you just have to basically cut these. You got to cut this out of the way, see? You got to cut along that line. So let's do that real quick, like here. We'll start a back cut first. Okay. This is a nice sharp saw. It's an Oregon saw. Well, that one popped out already, just like that, no problem. Then you take the coping saw and you finish those cuts. That one's out already. That's out. There you have it. Now with a little fine tuning, folks, this should fit into place somehow. You always have to play around with the joint a little bit. Okay, see? There she goes. She's going right into place, see? And that's how you do it. Just like that. That's pretty cool, huh? Nice and fast and easy. Dovetail joint. Then you glue it all in place, and then you can belt sand the whole thing smooth, and it looks like $1,000,000. Okay, thanks for watching. ifoundjim.com. See ya. Check out my website, AdirondackFurniture.com. No, it's AdirondackRusticFurniture.com. You can see all my cool stuff there. All right, thanks for watching.